Hello, and welcome to Exploring the Holos, where every event, entity, or observation is localized, having a specific position in space and a precise moment in time. Today, we're going to talk about something that is extremely frustrating to me. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear about politics, but on the plus side, well, it's actually not a plus, because this Political Action Committee, AIPAC, affects both sides of the aisle. First of all, I'd like to thank all the recent subscribers. I've had quite a few in the past couple of weeks, and if you've recently subscribed, thank you. You are the reason why I keep putting out videos and making this content. So thank you for supporting me. And if you're just watching this for the first time, please feel free to subscribe and share and like, and keep on watching. Thank you. And today I'm going to be talking about a threat to democracy and a threat to world safety in general. The number one of the biggest, maybe not the number one threat right now, but one of the biggest threats to democracy beyond Trump, and could lead us into World War III, is something called the American Israel Political Action Committee, or AIPAC, as you may hear it. The reason I say this is because their goal is to buy our politicians so they will serve Israel's interests rather than ours. And don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the Israeli people and the citizens. A lot of them are doing good. I believe a majority of the Israeli citizens are trying to stop the atrocities in Palestine right now. I know that their leaders, or right-wing government, and Netanyahu are very unpopular there, but there's not going to be an election while this genocide is going on. So there's not too much they can do besides protest. And it's not their fault that their government is using a terror attack as an excuse to commit genocide. So I'm not anti-Semitic. It's just that this government has to be gone. And the war criminals need to be put in jail. Or on trial, at least. It makes me frustrated when AIPAC spends nearly $40 million to get rid of Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush, two of the most progressive politicians that we've had, simply calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. And when any politician speaks out against Israel, AIPAC has so much money that they're able to primary them. And that is what happened in the case of Jamal Bowman and just last week, Cori Bush. So we lost very good politicians that mainly push progressive policies that were focused towards the people that elected them into office. So you see where I'm going with the issue with, if we can't vote for who we want and have them represent us in favor of a foreign government picking the politicians for us, that's not really democracy. And I see a huge problem coming up soon if we don't stop this. And if you don't believe that this is true, go back and watch the war criminal Netanyahu speaking to Congress. I believe it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. They all stand and clap and give him standing ovations. They look like trained SEALs. It's embarrassing. It's so humiliating that our elected officials clap when he comes here and begs us for more and more money to bomb innocent women and children. Almost 40,000 people have been killed over there, and there's no proof that any of those people were the people that they're looking for. And then they've had to do strikes in Iran and Jordan, or Lebanon. They attacked Lebanon to get Hamas leaders. So if the Hamas leaders aren't in Gaza, then why are they destroying Gaza? You have to think that there's maybe a deeper goal that they're going for. Maybe the extermination of those people so that they can settle it like they're doing in the West Bank, which is also another issue. Excuse me, I got a mosquito on me. Anyways, the average American doesn't want another $26 billion other tax money sent to kill innocent Palestinians. And it's very frustrating. You'll hear politicians on the right complaining about the piddly amount of money and outdated weapons that were given to Ukraine when they're merely defending themselves. But you don't hear anything about the billions and billions and billions of dollars were given to Israel because they can't say anything. Otherwise, they'll lose their jobs. But our politicians don't care about the voters once they're elected. They don't want to get in trouble with AIPAC. Our only option, as I see it, is to protest all the politicians on this issue equally, regardless of what party. I believe Kamala Harris had some protesters recently, and she just kind of shut them down and said, you can't say that if you want to beat Trump. She needs to take a stance, and I believe there is a way she can walk the middle here and not have AIPAC completely wipe out her election. But she's got to do it smart. There is a way around that. But she has to acknowledge the protesters and what they're saying. All she has to do is say that, she hears them and she's giving it some thought. She doesn't have to come out with anything until after the election, which is not very far along. I'm sure Gaza will be still being bombarded every day at that time. We could also push for a finance reform bill, which has been floated a few times but never got the support. I think if the people, if the voters were pushing for it more and knew more about what was going on, if more YouTubers covered this stuff, I think maybe we could get some movement on that, because other lobbyists like the NRA, the big oil, big pharma, they all need to be kept out. They're all taking away our voices as voters. The big money is increasingly all the politicians care about, other than like Bernie Sanders or maybe Tim Walz and a few others. I'm sure Cory Bush and Jamal Bowman, they weren't taking any money from these big PACs. And even Matt Gaetz, he's not the best politician, but he doesn't take corporate, or he doesn't take PAC money. So it can be done, but they just have to want to do it. They have to have morals and standards. They have to come into the office with the intent that they're not going to take it. Listen, I want Trump to lose just as much as you guys do. But Harris needs to know, if she does not stop funding Netanyahu, he will drag us into World War III. And it's it's happening right before our very eyes. He's attacking all of his neighbors because he feels emboldened by the amount of weaponry we're sending him. He knows that we have his back, and we need to say no. We need to cut that off. And if she does not do this, she will be blamed for what happens. Or Trump, or whoever is in president at the time. So coming up on this channel, we'll be finally traveling again. We'll be exploring Door County, Wisconsin. So that'll be a little bit more fun. That's the type of video I like to make. I love to do traveling and making traveling channels. This is a traveling channel mostly. It was intended to be. You'll have to excuse me. I just got out of work. So that should be fun. I will have at least one video coming out of that, and maybe more. I have no idea how much content will generate, because not much stuff is planned. We're kind of just going to fly by the seat of our pants and see what happens. But it's only it's Labor Day weekend, so it'll be just 3 days, so whatever happens, happens. And I know we've been asking for more Neogenian content, but I've been really busy with work, and I haven't even finished meta-rationalism yet. I believe on like section 13 or 14, and that's about halfway. It's a little further than halfway through the book. So please be patient with that. And I did get a good response, and thank you for supporting me with those videos that I did. And I just want to be well informed on the content before I go and talk about it. So, okay. With that being said, thanks for watching, subscribing, liking, and even sharing. Ad Astra, my friends.